Welcome to Daily Life Connection, our video talk time. We've been talking about learning who God is and how He works, and how that affects how we walk through life, and especially through these stressful times that we're in. The reality is, the effects of what we believe about God are amplified in times of stress and difficulty. In our everyday life, what we believe about God certainly does affect us and how we live, but it's in these stressful times that what we believe about Him is, or the effects of what we believe about Him, really come out to the forefront and are amplified in our lives. And I think that's one of the reasons it's so important that we really examine who is God and how does He at work and what do we believe about Him. You see, I guess, that a trust relationship with Abba leads to a relaxed heart. My topic today is simply that: relax, relax. It's based on Matthew chapter 6, where Jesus is talking to His followers, and He's recognizing that the stresses of everyday life and the concerns and cares and anxieties of everyday life can really do a number on us, and we end up living driven and anxious and to the extreme with fear and anxiety. And He says this. He said, "If God gives such attention to the appearance of wildflowers, most of which are never seen, don't you think He'll attend to you, take pride in you, do His best for you?" And then Jesus says this: "What I'm trying to get you to do here is to relax. What I'm trying to get you to do here is to relax. To not be so preoccupied with getting things done, with dealing with the circumstances, with trying to fix everything. So you can respond to God's giving, so we can be attentive to what God's doing in us and in this circumstance, rather than us being so preoccupied with what we need to do to fix it." He said, "People who don't know God and the way He works fuss over these things, but you know both God and how He works. Steep yourself in God realities, God initiatives, God provisions. Don't worry about missing out. You'll find all your everyday human concerns are met. Relax, relax." If our concept of God leads us to greater uncertainty, if it leads us to greater anxiety or fear in our daily living, or our drivenness or sense of, I have to do this, I have to get this done, I have to fix this, then we have a wrong concept of who God is. He wants us to relax. He knows what we need. He loves us immensely. He has the ability to get the resources to us that we need. Not necessarily what we want, but certainly what we need. For example, right now, what I really want is for this whole thing to just end, for life to go back to the way it was, so I can see my friends, so that we can get back to the routines. People can get back to work. But that isn't necessarily what I need most of all. What I need most of all is inner strength and empowerment to deal with what is until we do get through it. And the understanding of God will get us where we need to go. He'll get us where we need to be. So in some ways, what I'm saying today is simply, what we need to do sometimes, and sometimes maybe several times a day, is sit down and just say, read, relax, take a deep breath. God's got you covered. He's got your back. Relax. I'm told that athletes understand the principle of relaxed intensity. that when an athlete is performing, if they are doing it out of drivenness and uptight and they're worried about beating the other person and they're tense, they won't perform near as well as if they're relaxed. Now, I'm not talking about a relaxed, like, oh, well, nothing matters, who cares, but a sense of uh, peace and wholeness, relaxed intensity. That's when athletes perform their best. That's when I believe we live our best. And that's, I think, what Jesus is trying to remind us to do is that when we go through life intense, anxious, driven, a sense of, I've got to fix this, I've got to do this, we've got to get it right, oh goodness, what's going to happen? We are not whole or healthy or enjoying life to the full. And you know what the other reality is? Neither are the people around us. But when we can learn to relax, a wholeness and a peace comes to us. And I'm not sure it's learned to relax so much. The good news is this: the more we get to know who God is and how He operates, the more relaxed we'll be. So I guess part of what I'm saying is if your concept of God stirs up feelings of fear and anxiety and uncertainty in you and a drivenness, then you've got a wrong concept of God. Just being blunt. Jesus said the more you get to know Him, the more you'll relax, the more you'll just trust that He's got your back, that He's got you covered, that He'll get you what you need and He'll get you where you need to go. So that's a good reminder for us today. So today's focus and meditation is simply on relax. He's got you covered. We'll talk again tomorrow. God bless.